Almighty God, you have blessed us with memory, reason, and skill. Help us to use them wisely in your service of our town government. We ask this, I will name, amen. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I thank you all for coming. Maybe Tom Manderville will be our first speaker of the evening. He's our town historian. He'll give us a little update on upcoming events.
Well, we had another meeting of the 250th Point of Fair Anniversary Committee last Friday. And the update I can give you so far is things are progressing well. We are expecting a pretty sizable number of reenactors and, as they were known back then, camp followers, but women and children will accompany them. We can't give you a solid number yet because Tom Prey, who is the quartermaster of this event, there's some groups that still have April meetings to commit, and also you always get a more solid number by April. So in April we'll give you a pretty close to the exact number of reenactors we'll have in camp there. Other updates on the event, things are coming together. We've been planning for all the different possibilities. We got tents and porta-johns and so forth, and trash removal set up. Promotion is starting to fall in. In fact, in early May, John Zerlo, Tom Prey, and I will go into Mountain Lake PBS, and Tom Halleck is going to sit us down on a round table, and we're going to promote the event, and they'll very importantly beam that up to Montreal, which is a big market that we're hoping to draw from too, since it was a French and British battle. Also, I did a little quick research for Dick, and we've determined that Point of Fair was actually settled in 1774, and I believe Dick's going to be working on putting signage up to indicate that and welcome people to the historic Point of Fair, settled in 1774. And other than that, I'll answer any questions about the event if anybody has any. Oh, John Zerlo is drafting a letter to send to all the residents of Point of Fair to give them a heads up that this event is coming and what's going to be involved, and inviting them to a Saturday night celebration with the residents and the reenactors. So that will be going out shortly, I think. John was working on it when we met last meeting. Any questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
I think it's coming together good.
Have fun in Florida, Dick.
I will. Thanks, Tom.
Anybody else wish to address the board?
Yeah, just a quick question on the light at the end of the Ridge Road and Route 11.
Yes.
Ever since but it was dug up for the Maplefield thing, it's been running differently now. As anybody who goes there knows, it goes off and on its by itself. It used to be it would only be tripped. Somebody pull up and it'd trip it. So now people coming down Route 11, nobody's there waiting to cross, and the light trips, and it stays tripped for quite a while. So I think it's just a matter of DOT coming down and resetting something to get it back. I think it's going to be a problem in the summertime when you got heavy traffic on Route 11 if that thing is tripping. The only thing with the old way was it didn't stay green very long. If it could stay green another 8 seconds or so, give people a little more time to get through the light, that'd be good. But I don't know, Steve, you probably go through there on a regular basis, going to the phone company.
Yeah, I don't know, I think that's gonna be up to,
Well,
Must
Alan,
be
you have
for where
contact?
Yeah, I got a contact guy in Watertown.
Okay, can you
Yeah.
give him a buzz and see if that in fact has been changed? And
Yeah.
give
I'll
back to
come up,
him?
take a look at it, and I'll mention it to him.
Well, it happened when the
Yeah, when they
road was
that
dug up.
Yeah.
So it had to be something that was.
I'm surprised somebody underground would, I don't know that.
Well, you know, went on sensors before, maybe the sensor has been moved,
Disturbed, yeah.
I don't know.
so it doesn't have the sensor there to trip it, so it goes to an automatic sequence.
Okay,
But, you know,
Yeah, I'll give that guy a shout tomorrow.
but, you know, I think if it could stay green a little bit longer when it does turn green, it would
Okay.
help, because a lot of times if you're 100 feet away, somebody's going through, and by the time you get there, it's orange, you know, so it doesn't, and maybe, if you're gonna call them, maybe on the Valley Road, there's a blinking light at Honeymoore's Corners. The one facing Moore's, there's only one blinking now instead of two. There's still two blinking coming from Cooperville, but
Okay.
there's only one blinking coming the other way, so if that other one goes out, there won't be a blinking light there anymore. Because they always have two, so.
Okay, maybe they're not aware of that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not, you know, if we don't tell them, then they.
Okay. Thank you. I need a motion to approve the January 12th minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from January 12th, 2010.
Second. Any questions on the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We have an invitation for, to go to the PERMA annual conference in May 27th, 28th. Okay, if anybody's interested in that, let me know. We got a thank you letter from Dodge Memorial Library, Ross's Point, thanking us. Things they're doing there. You got a report from the JCO, your outreach programs for December through January 13th. For your information only. You got a treasurer's office. Letter from the Clinton County Treasurer's Office, sending us a check for $81,613. Okay. For the fourth quarter distribution of county sales tax. It's always a welcoming sight, good sized check. We've got a list of people to contact in case of emergencies for New York State Electric and Gas, pertaining to the gas pipeline, the dispatchers, and anybody that would control anything for the gas pipeline or the electric services. From emergency numbers, Alan, I assume to keep those on hand. Okay. This one here, somewhere. We got a letter from New York State DEC pertaining to upcoming test that's going to be done at the landfill site here in Champlain. These are yearly tests that need to be done. Notice has been sent to the people that do the testing. Martin or Judas out of Syracuse, that will be taken care of. We got a letter from you as part of the United Way committee offering free taxpayer service to anybody that wants it, I guess, at the Senior Citizens Council in North Catherine Street. If anybody wants information on that, do call in, we can get them that information. It's between January 25th and February 27th. Okay. And there's dates after that also. In March and through April 15th to help people with their taxes, income taxes. We've got the work schedule for the property assessor's office here in the town. They're here every Friday. They're here on some Mondays. If you wish to see the assessor, call in on Mondays, but Friday they're always here. Mondays, call in to make sure they're here, not out in the field working. We got a letter from the Community Impact Group pertaining to the wide closing of an upcoming meeting. These have been going on for, well, ever since Pfizer announced they were closing. This is an upcoming meeting, and the week from this coming Monday, I believe it is. We got a letter from Janet Dupree pertaining to the CHIPS. This is highway funds money, which it will be intact for this year, which is good news. We get approximately, I haven't got it in front of me, I don't know, around $90,000,
Yeah, about 92.
$92,000 a year. And it's good. Last year they tried to cut it, at least this year it's intact for this year. We're thankful for that. We got a letter from County Legislator's Office pertaining to dog licenses appropriation, dog license fees, in the amount of $287.17. That's a once-a-year thing that we normally get. We have your dog control officer's report for the month. Looks like it was considerable activity. I would like an authorization for the town supervisor to get a resolution together honoring Chris Trombley for Woodman of the Year award in March 5th, I believe it is, before our next meeting. If I could have a motion to do that, I'll advise me to get a resolution together on that.
I make a motion to authorize supervisor to take a resolution honoring Chris Trombley as Citizen of the Year for the Woodman.
Do I have a second?
Second it.
Thank you. Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We need an authorization of the town board to proceed with a grant application for the USDA Rural Business Economic Grant. Mickey, would you address this, please?
Yeah, this is a grant for the reconstruction of the Dubois pump station, the wastewater pump station. There's money available from the USDA, and I've been working with a couple different people there. They suggested that we apply for this. This is a pre-application, application is what it is. We have to send this in, they score it, and then they decide whether or not they're gonna invite us to apply formally for it. But this is the first step, and part of it is a resolution from the town board, basically authorizing that, you know, there's gonna be some money spent on this. This is a $77,000 grant that we're applying for. Whether or not it's funded wholly by them or partially, that's yet to be determined, but we do need a resolution to proceed with it.
Okay. You need a letter to that effect to mail with the application?
Yes.
Okay. So if I could have a motion to approve the other authorization of the town board to proceed with the grant application.
I so move.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second that motion.
Any questions on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Mickey's started the paperwork on this, and we want to get right onto this as soon as possible. We're very hopeful.
It's gotta be in by March 31st, so,
We've got time, but
yeah.
We
well,
want time.
Time flies, so.
Yeah.
Dick, will you address the motion for the golf course, please?
I'd like to make a motion to continue with terms of existing contract with the North Country Golf Course for the duration of their agreement with us through December of 2010 and 2011. I'd just like to make that motion.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Just for information only, this is a contract that we're renewing, and it's been in force for the past 3 years. The terms of contract are the exact same as they have for the past 3 years. Okay? I'd like to have a roll call vote on this if I could. John?
I gotta vote for this.
John, Paul?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
Yes for myself. I also need to set a date for a public hearing next month. I don't have a calendar in front of me. Whatever date our board meeting is next month. For the cross control backflow prevention. What date is it? The 9th of March. I have a motion to set a public hearing, I would say 7:15 maybe.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. You got your emergency numbers from NICIC, you got a thank you from the North Country Flight Line, Life Flight. Okay, Alan, anything on the highway?
No, everything's pretty quiet in the highway, the weather's been cooperative, but I guess we're expecting a little snow tonight. Unless somebody else got any questions about the highway.
Been very lucky the past month, I'll tell you that. The roads are clear.
You happy with your furnace setup out there?
Yep.
Okay. I know of nothing on the building committee. John Paul Richard, the roof furnace is up and working.
Yep.
The grants committee, well, we're applying for one here tonight, so we'll get a report on that later.
I do have something on the grants as far as shared services goes. March 24th, there's gonna be a joint meeting with all the boards between the two villages and the town here at, I believe it's 6 o'clock.
24th of March?
Yes, and the engineers are going to go over everything that's been accomplished or talked about, and just basically explain everything that's been done. So we're gonna be sending invitations out to all the different board members.
And just like that, I hope that also is an opportunity to try to come up with other ideas to do things jointly between the three municipalities. Be nice to get everybody in the same room.
Yes, because
Great.
there's gonna be a sizable amount of money left over from this grant that we have to come up with some creative ways to use, otherwise we're gonna lose it, so.
I'm sure we'll find some ways to implement some of the things that we come up with.
Didn't they say they have that basic draft for us at this meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's gonna be pretty, if we get it here and some of the other towns can look that over. I'm sure it's gonna be about this thick, but should try to go over that a little bit, get everybody together.
Yes.
The Water Sewer Committee, nothing I got to report is, I think that in the past month, we installed the last meter on that Ridge Road, all new meters up there now, I believe. They all can be read from outside the houses, which is a great improvement. I know nothing else other than water and sewer that we are applying for a grant. The landfill committee, the only thing we had tonight is an upcoming testing in the summer. Julie, town clerk's report?
There's a rabies clinic on Thursday, February 25th, from 6 to 8:30 at the City of Plattsburgh Public Works Building. Also, at the last zoning board meeting, the board recommended Bruce Seguin as chairperson and Wayne LaValle as vice chair. So the board just has to approve that.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve Bruce Seguin as chair and Bruce LaValle,
Wayne,
Wayne LaValle as vice chair of the zoning board?
Make that motion.
Thank you,
I'll second that motion.
thank you. Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
that's all I have.
So, yeah. You got your post audit bills, we need to approve the monthly bills.
We've got one added for annual membership dues for John Favreau for $110.
Okay. Any questions, on any of the bills before I ask for a motion here? If not, I need a motion to approve the bills as presented.
I make a motion that we pay the bills as presented,
and the one
including the one for John Favreau.
motion. Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any questions on any of the bills? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Does anybody else have anything to bring before the board?
I've got one thing.
Yes.
A few months ago, at a fire district meeting, there was a discussion, excuse me, regarding a fire that occurred in the village of Champlain in the former Assessor'S property, where the current property owner refused to pay, and still refuses to pay $1,000 charge that the fire district incurred in order to knock the building down and get the fire contained. This was on June 27th when the fire occurred. To this point, the fire district still has not been reimbursed by this property owner. And I'd like to figure out a way for the town to put that on this person's taxes. And then have that amount reimbursed to the fire district. I realize the physical location is in the village of Champlain, but that's still in the town. And I don't like the fact that the rest of us are paying for that out of our tax dollars when it should be paid for by the property owner. And I'm just
Did the
bringing up.
present property owner own the property at the time of the fire?
Yes,
I don't have an answer for you other than it's a legal question. I guess we need a legal opinion.
right.
I don't know what else to go with that one.
Yeah, I bring it before the board because I kind of dropped the ball about pursuing this sooner. But I think we should get involved to see what we can do to support the fire district in their attempt to get this money from the
Did they
property
hire
owner.
a private contractor to do this?
Yes,
And they reimbursed, they paid it?
yes. That's standard procedure. Usually it's expected of the property owner to reimburse whoever the contractor is that comes in to knock the building down in order to contain the fire.
I will,
And we're setting a bad precedent by not having the owner responsible for this. It's gonna be hard to get a contractor to do that for us in a short period if he feels like he's not gonna be paid right off because of the circumstances in this case, so.
I assume there was a danger that the building would fall in or something and they wanted it down?
And other structures nearby as well.
Yeah, okay.
We just went through that down in the village of Rouse's Point. Let me check with how they put it on the taxes. Let me check and see, what the procedure is to get the money back to the fire district.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
I'll check on it
And,
tomorrow.
I'll check with John, see what kind of answer he gets. If we don't get a satisfactory one, I'll run it by our legal authority.
Well, we just did this at the Holland, so,
Okay.
okay, that ended up on the taxes, but I don't know what the procedure was.
But that was against the previous owner, not the one that bought it, right, Mike, right?
No,
That was it, against the owner,
that was the present owner.
present owner.
Okay.
The same scenario.
Okay, we'll find out
I'll check tomorrow.
if we can do that, and
Well, we'll just go see what the procedure is, and if we have to write letters or whatever.
we'll have our town attorney look further into it. We need to, it's worth pursuing, probably have some type of local law on that or something, I don't know, to, for future cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was graciously done and it was done expeditiously as well, because that was right during our celebration time. And I remember like days before that it was totally all cleaned up and,
You know, that may fall under your unsafe building legislation that you have here. That was adopted a few years ago in part of the building code. Because that was an unsafe structure and the decision was made that it had to be torn down that night.
Which is the same thing we did in Rouse's Point.
Right,
Exactly.
that's how that happened in Rouse's Point, so I can look in our local law for that too. But I think that comes under that, and there's provisions in there where it does go on their taxes if they refuse to pay.
Would our local law pertain to something in the village?
Well, it's the fire district.
Okay.
Wow,
I guess we need to further look into it, so.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep, we will do that. Does anybody else have anything to bring before the board? I do not have a reason for an executive session, does anybody? I have none. If not, I need a motion to adjourn. Thank you. I need a second.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.